Hello everyone. Welcome to this session on features, structures and basic syntax of C++. In this lecture, we will understand what C++ is, why it is widely used and its important features, how a C++ program is structured and the basic syntax required to start writing programs. So here we start with what is C++. So C++ is a general purpose programming language. It is an extension of the C language. It combines the speed of C with powerful features of object-oriented programming. Today, C++ support multiple programming styles including procedural, object-oriented and generic programming. Why we have to learn C++? So C++ is one of the fastest programming language and is used wherever performance is critical. It is widely used in game development, operating systems, web browsers, embedded systems, and financial applications. More importantly, learning C++ helps us understand how memory, processors, and computer systems actually work. Once you master C++, learning other programming languages becomes much easier. Key features. Now let's look at the important features of C++. So, object-oriented programming. One of the biggest strengths of C++ is object-oriented programming. Here, we model real-world objects such as car, student, or employee using class and objects. Concepts like encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphisms helps us write reusable, organized, and maintainable code. This approach becomes especially useful while developing large software applications. C++ are compiled directly into machine code. Since there is no interpreter between the program and processor, execution is extremely fast. This makes C++ suitable for applications where speed and efficiency are important. Next comes the portability. This means the same source code can be compiled on different operating systems such as Windows, Linux, and Mac OS with very little modification. The next feature is the rich standard library. C++ provides a rich standard template library commonly called STL. It contains ready-made data structures like vectors and maps along with useful algorithms for sorting, searching and many other operations. Next feature is the memory control. Unlike many modern languages, C++ gives programmers direct access to memory through pointers and dynamic memory allocation. This provides greater flexibility and performance. Next, we enter into the structure of a program. Now let's try to understand how a C++ program is organized. So first, here we start with the anatomy of a program. Here we see a simple C++ program. The hash include statement brings in necessary libraries. The using namespace std statement allows us to write cout instead of the standard cout. Every program begins execution from the main function. Finally, each statement ends with semicolon. Next comes the preprocessor directives in the structure. The preprocessor directives begins with hash symbol and are processed before compilation. The most common directive is hash include, which inserts the contents of a header file into the program. Different headers provide different functionalities such as input-output mathematical operations and string handling operations. And here comes the main function. Every C++ program must contain exactly one main function because it serves as the entry point of the program. Execution starts from here and continues statement by statement. The statement return 0 indicates that the program has completed successfully. Next is namespaces. Namespace is used to organize identifiers and avoid naming conflicts. Most standard library functions belong to std namespace. Next comes the comments. The comments are notes written for programmers. They improve readability and documentation but are ignored by compiler. There are single line comments being with the double slashes, and other type of comment is multi-line comments that are enclosed with slash asterisk and asterisk slash symbols. And the next part is about the basic syntax. We start with variables and data types. So variable is a named storage locations that holds the data. For example, int stores whole numbers, double stores decimal values, and char stores the single character. Next is constants. Sometimes certain values should never change during program execution. Such values are declared using const, C-O-N-S-T, const keyword. For example, mathematical constants like pi or fixed configuration values are declared as constants. The next we see in syntax is input and output. C++ communicates with users using streams. The cout statement displays output on the screen, while cin accepts input from the user. Notice the direction of the arrows. Double less than symbol send data to the output stream, whereas double greater than symbol receives input from the keyboard. Next comes the operators. Operators performs various operations on data. Arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators are widely used. And here is a conditional statements. This allows programs to make decisions. The if statement executes code when a condition is true. If the first condition is false, else if checks another condition. Finally, the else block gets executed. Next comes the loops. Loops helps us to execute the same block of code repeatedly. A for loop is generally used when the number of iterations is known beforehand. While loop continues as long as condition remains true. Do while loop continues is unique because it executes the loop body at least once before checking the condition. And here is the functions. Function is a reusable block of code designed to perform a single task. Instead of writing same code repeatedly, we define it once and call it whenever required. And last is the compilation process. Finally, let's understand how a C++ program becomes an executable application. First, we write the source code in a .cpp file. The compiler converts it into object code. The linker combines this object code with required libraries. The final result is executable file that can be run on the computer. And now we have come to the end of the session. To summarize, today we have learned what C++ is, why it is widely used, its major features, the structure of a C program, C++ program, the basic syntax needed to begin programming. These concepts forms the foundation of all future C++ topics. In next session, we will start writing simple C++ programs and apply these concepts practically. Thank you.